Right disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, here's another scam. Allegedly, this woman is a Scientologist. This is dated May 29, 2019. Janita M. Mason, biosanctuary.com scam. Consumer complaints and reviews about Janita M. Mason, biosanctuary.com scam. Janita M. Mason, aka Janita Mason or Janita Petralli, won award from an organization registered in the gambling city of Las Vegas. Certainly does not make you a qualified doctor or naturopath. Your other so-called award was given to you in 2010 by the Scientologists cult group. Okay, I'm not sure if she's a Scientologist or not, but you conveniently, or should I say cleverly, cunningly, do not mention on any of your websites that the Scientologists gave you this award. Bad for your business, scams, huh? The question remains, why don't you list all of your university degrees here and on your various websites if you are such a medical professional? Boy, does that remind you of some of the stuff going on with the ex-Scientology community, hey? Let me pass you this big virtual shovel so you can keep digging yourself into a bigger hole. Lots of laughs. Here's another one. March 7th, 2019. This lady is not a qualified doctor or homeopath. She has no degrees. I mean, she could be a Scientologist. I don't know. Make sure to ask her to provide proof. If she tries to say she is trained, she has scammed thousands of dollars from past patients, $5,000 to $30,000, and is linked to the Scientology cult. They even gave her an award. She will ask you to wire the money. Oh, wonder what the feds think about that. I wonder what the feds think about that. It's proof. So there is no proof of paid services. That is proof, though, if you can find it. If you want to sue her, plus she operates out of places like Costa Rica and Mexico. Of course she does. Where she cannot be sued is she is not on United States territory. Huh, that sounds like Hubbard, doesn't it? Google her name, Janita Mason or Janita Petralli. It sounds Italian. She changes her name to avoid being detected for past crimes. Oh, Scientology knows about that, don't they? You will see a list of complaints. Anyone can wear a white lab coat to look official. Many have tried to sue her, but she only posts a toll-free number, which is another red flag that it is a scam. Yeah, that's like number one red flag. March 7th, 2019. This detox program, it's got Scientology written all over it, you guys, is run by Janita Mason. She used to go by the name of Janita Petrali, but changed her last name as complaints were filed against her. And it put several patients at high risk in 2010 and 2018. It is a poorly run program that claims to be a holistic detox spa center. She has now relocated her scam in California and Mexico. Prior to this report, she tried to open a detox center in Costa Rica. In fact, Janita Mason Petralli's illegal activities were reported to the U.S. Embassy in Costa Rica, the Better Business Bureau, and the District Attorney's Office. Notice, she has no medical degrees. She will not be able to name any college or training facility to prove her medical background. There is a reason she is unable to provide any kind of diplomas or certificates, nor does she ever post this information on her website. In her photos and on YouTube videos, she will often wear a white lab coat to look official. Anyone can buy a lab coat. Yeah, they're cheap too, aren't they? She never provides a direct phone number or address, only a toll-free number, and will most likely ask that you wire her the payments because it cannot be traced. I don't know who says that can't be traced. It's probably a little easier to get away with it, but these are all classic red flags of how scams operate. Patients have lost anywhere from 5 to over 30,000 for their holistic detox program. I must say, though, it's not illegal to get scammed. I'm just saying. I don't think it's illegal. Maybe it is. I don't know. It never got even a partial refund, just like Scientology. When the program failed, she is now operating from Mexico, just like in Costa Rica. She can operate from there illegally, plus avoid being sued, as she is not on United States land. Any legal people that know more about that, does that mean she can't be sued? I don't know if that means she can't be sued. That's the theory. Mason Petrali was ironically awarded a Human Rights Award. Oh, that is Scientology. By the CCHR Scientology Group, Scientology-based mental health human rights watchdog organization, in February 2010, while violating her own patients' human rights. Well, that's just like Scientology. There are safer, easier, and less costly ways to detox. 1. Always research a detox place thoroughly. Google, Facebook, Yahoo are your friends. Buyer beware. Some internet sources. 1. http://missionlocal.org/2009/04/nutritional detox facility gets walloped. 2. Google Janita lucrative biz proposal. Need property regarding green spa and holistic medical clinic in Costa Rica. The website is http://tropicalo.tribe.net/m/thread 8240F 1AC-4 Delta 0 Delta -4 Bravo 9 F is in Frank -8290-3 Bravo 27 5823 5 Delta 1 Delta. Note the target audience, date written, and money proposed. She opened weeks later in February 2010. It is no wonder it was totally disorganized. 3. Green Mental Health and Alternatives 101 are also part of her scam. We have hired lawyers to sue her, but it has been difficult to locate her, just like Hubbard. Please note Janita Mason Petrali has posted on here that she has lawyers that will sue for libel if past patients post the truth about her scam. Sounds like she's got Scientology money behind her, perhaps. I'm not sure. It sounds like she's a Scientologist, but I don't have proof right now. Several of us are still waiting for her lawyers to contact us. Yeah, keep waiting. Just like, what's that, the creep, Chomo, Tony, that was trying to go after Solomon? Yeah. As we would love to get a fair trial in court and get a refund. The fact that no lawyers have contacted any of us shows how she will resort to fake statements to make herself look credible. Just like, what's the gal's name? At the rape bar, the La Poubelle. Rebuttal to Mina Jane above. Jane, that's a Sikh, or not a Sikh name, but that's a East Indian name. I am Janita Petrali, the medical director of Shangri-La Biospa. When Mina Jane was there, her accusations of entirely false and slanderous are. To summarize, after the initial 4 weeks Mina was there, she was progressing so well that her father extended her stay. Cha-ching! Right after he did that, she decided she didn't want to stay any longer. Oh, you see, she got the money and ran. And decided to discontinue both her medications and holistic support services we were providing her. She signed us. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, this is okay, now I get it. This is her trying to spew her garbage. Right after he did that, she decided she didn't want to stay. Yeah, like who would do that? I got it mixed up, you guys. This is the thief saying this. She signed a sworn statement that she refused all treatment. See what they do to people? They try to trick them signing that crap, which is a covenant, by the way, including that of her doctor. We immediately got on the phone with her father to have him come to Costa Rica and pick her up, and he could not due to work obligations. While we were trying to figure out the best courses of action as her condition was deteriorating quickly, she chased my chef around the kitchen with a knife, threatening to kill her. You see that? That Scientology pulls that crap too. It was at that time that we asked her to stay in her room. Really? After someone threatens you with a knife? Come on now. And that's all hearsay. But the nurse brought her own food and tried to get her to take her medication. We decided to have one of our comfort and care assistants. Yeah, where's everybody's certifications for this stuff? Escort her back to the States where her father could meet her at the airport. Yeah, after they got her money. At the Costa Rican airport, she pretended her hand was a gun. Can you imagine this? Oh, God. And started saying pow pow and pointing to the airport police. They, of course, detained her. Really? Of course they detained her. Really? Of course. And would not let her fly. Excuse me. We brought her back to Shangri-La. What a weird name. Confined her to her room with the nurse. Confined her? Really? You confined her to her room with the nurse while we discussed the situation. It sounds like they were handling her, with her father trying to figure out a solution. While this was in course, she began threatening the nurse. Oh, all this hearsay. So we had to station the nurse outside her window. Oh, the handler, you mean? You mean a handler. Mina became extremely violent. No, she wanted to get out of there. Tearing towel racks from the wall and trying to rip the sink out from the wall. Yeah, because you guys locked her up against her will. She then became a threat to others and herself, and by the standards of care, I had to call the ambulance and get medical intervention. Really, did you? Mina was delusional. Oh, are you a psychologist or a psychiatrist? For weeks thereafter, it sounds like you're delusional. My staff went to the hospital to check on her and even drove your staff. You sound like you're trying to act like you're a real doctor. And even drove her father around, helping him migrate through the process of getting her released to go home. Okay, I'll be back. Mina has absolutely no recollection of this period. Says you. Sound like the false memory syndrome? I have statements from my staff. Oh, your staff? Oh, you sound so important. Kind of like Rinder, you're so important. In a signed statement from her that she refused to take her medication. You're not even a medical doctor. You're not a medical doctor, so you need to get your delusion straightened out. Refused our services. So you say. And furthermore, she has the right to refuse anything she wants to refuse. So get it in your head. We acted quickly, keeping the staff. Ooh, the staff again, you guys. In case you guys didn't know, she's got a staff. I bet nobody has any certifications for anything either. And her from harm. Ooh, they love to use that, don't they? They love to use that. That's one of their little tools that they use to manipulate people. All this happened in the course of 2 days after refusing to take her medication. Okay, one, this person's not even a medical doctor. Like, has zero credibility whatsoever as a medical doctor. Does not name the medication. And in a free world, you have the right to refuse medication. This is all hearsay stuff. She had to be taken to a hospital that was staffed, another staff stuff, and equipped to stabilize her and calm her down for the safety of all. Do you think maybe she was upset because you guys locked her up against her will and had her in a room, unable to leave? Maybe that's why she was upset. And they always project, you guys. They always do. Her statements are slanderous, and she is using your site only to try and hurt the reputation of our health spa. You don't have a reputation. You think like you're the one in delusion land. I'm asking that you remove these false statements. No. We have just learned about them and are having our lawyer contact her. You know, the lawyer that doesn't exist. regarding being liable for damages. Ooh. Like BJ Investigates always say, facts ain't defamation, honey. The only comment that is truthful in her statement is that I did have an employee that was family. Ooh, of course you did. Of course you did. He provided first-tier support. I'll bet he did. For the love of money. He provided first-tier support in helping people make sure they made their appointments, etc. Obviously, no mention of any certification whatsoever, because there are none. He was not in any position of patient care or responsibility. See, she's trying to worm out of it. Yeah, honey, because you can go to prison for that stuff. Did you know? He worked mostly as a handyman and went on their excursions with them to monitor them. To monitor them. Sounds like a health spa, doesn't it? Just exactly like these schools where they lock up the children. While you pay for it, by the way. As you can see, she is not paying much attention to correct details. She's not a native English speaker. Which is fine. I'm pointing that out. You can tell. She claims that I opened just weeks after the posting an ad for positions at the spa. You can see from the date of the post that I opened 1 year and a few weeks later in February of 2010. Also, please note that she returns to vote on her own post. What is... That's that circular garbage talk that they do. What the fuck does that mean? Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter. If any one of our clients were a loved one of yours, you would have wanted her out of the comment areas. Yeah, because you're locking everyone up against their will. Wish an MNFer would. Running around with a butcher knife. Really? Where'd the butcher knife come from? Do tell. Do tell. She was trying to get out of there because you had locked her up against her will. And the knife is just complete hearsay. There's no proof. And she honestly had a right to protect herself from harm. Herself. The other clients did not need to endure her demeanor and violence. They come to us for vibrant, peaceful, and caring place to ensure the best environment for a healing event. It is a health spa. Is it now? Not a psych ward. Well, you would know all about psych, wouldn't you? And one people begin to demonstrate that they are a threat to others and themselves. Really? You deduce that because you locked her up in a room? It sounds like you are the one in need of mental health care. It is time to get them into a safe and appropriately staffed environment. She loves that word staffed, doesn't she? In case you guys didn't know, she loves that word. Honey, I think you're the one who needs to be in a psych ward. This could have all been avoided if the family came out when we called to get her. You know what? This is a great demonstration of pure manipulation. It's like, it reminds me of when BJ Investigates talks about BAM and the conservatorship and Britney Spears and all that. Of course, there's way more money involved in all that. It's the same kind of crap they all do. All of them. And that, what's that gal that she's always going up against? She's Romanian or something. You know, I wish you guys could see my face. I got side eye. Romanian. Okay, February 19th, 2016. This detox program is run by Janita Mason. She used to go by the name of Janita Petralli, but changed her last name as complaints were filed against her, and it put several patients at high risk in 2010. This reminds me of Narconon. It is a poorly run program that claims to be a holistic detox spa center. She has now relocated her scam in California. Prior to this report, she tried to open a detox center in Costa Rica. In fact, Petralli's illegal activities were reported to the U.S. Embassy in Costa Rica, the Better Business Bureau, and the District Attorney's Office. Funny how they could get Nature Boy out of Brazil, but they can't get this chick out of anywhere. Funny, huh? Janita Petrali claims that she is against the psych industry. Now, that's very Scientology about her. But it is a well-known fact that she locked a patient in their room. See? False imprisonment right there. After the 4th week. That's false imprisonment. for 2 days with no food when Mason Petralli's detox program did not work. Then Mason Petralli, and this woman just made a mistake in trusting these evil ones. Then Mason Petralli threw that patient in a psych ward. That's just exactly what goes on with all these conservatorships, you see? They have to discredit people and say that they're crazy, even though they're the ones abusing people heinously, which would make anyone look crazy. You're exhausted, you're under mind control. Another patient left after 2 weeks after deteriorating rapidly. Yeah, they got him out of there because they didn't want him to DIE in their care, that's why. Instead of improving, yet another patient quit after 5 weeks, and one patient eventually decided to go to a psych ward and then fly home. They all paid from $15,000 to over $22,000 for their 4 to 5 week holistic detox program and never got a refund, just like Scientology. She's now opening a clinic in Malibu in January 2011 and in Costa Rica. Isn't that great? Malibu is like the center for the very, very wealthy. There are like a lot of wealthy people out there. In 2010, she had no professionally trained day staff to pass out important supplements. This is all the same things that they're doing in these various detox center, not Narcanon's one, but there's a lot of them. They're all doing the same thing. Sick. Amino acids and vitamins. Vitamins, like in Scientology. She used a 20-year-old family member for that job. So that means he had no qualifications whatsoever. And no night nurse, which, just like that, you guys remember when I was reading about the marathon, that there were ties to Scientology? I couldn't actually prove it, but there was a man who ran the marathon and died of a heart attack because there was no doctor on site, which that's a law. Okay, where was I? Meanwhile, Mason Petralli spent most of her days and nights locked in her bedroom in front of her computer, stating she only handled, oh, there's that word, handled the science part, when she was clearly the medical director. Really? You can't call somebody like a medical person if they have no qualifications. You can't. I mean, you can do it, but it's a lie. Mason Petralli was ironically awarded a Human Rights Award by the CCHR Scientology Group, Scientology-based mental health human rights watchdog organization. It's all a front. In February 2010, while violating her own patients' human rights, there are safer, easier, and less costly ways to detox. 1. Always research a detox place thoroughly. Google, Facebook, Yahoo are your friends. Buyer beware. I think I already read this. I'm not going to read it again. There's a bunch of links you guys can go to and check it out if they're still up. Notes the target audience, date, written, and money proposed. She opened weeks later in February 2010. It is no wonder it was totally disorganized. Green Mental Health and Alternatives 101 are also part of her scam. They have a lot of like detox and supplements and stuff, scams going on right now. A lot of them. I've got a video at one point I'll cover. Update: Janita Mason Petralli's illegal activities were reported to the U.S. Embassy in Costa Rica, the Better Business Bureau, and the District Attorney's Office. Please note that Mason Petralli will use threats, that's very narcissistic, very Scientology, and lies, more Scientology and narcissism, to discourage her past patients, clients from revealing her unprofessional methods. And then they've got a complaint form there. So anyways, you guys, I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.